Okay, so it seems to be streaming. Hi and welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. Yep, YouTube is working. Let's see, Picarto. And I'm gonna pop out the chat in case anybody wants to write me something so that I can see what you guys are writing. So today I'm going to continue coloring my comic book Niels Feynman. We've gotten to page 24. So that is 2 more pages and we're done with chapter 1, with issue number 1. Pop out the chat for it. Done. There we go. So the line art is done by Jun Fender. And I'm using Clip Studio Paint to illustrate this. To color, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna turn these off so that I can take the layer off. I'm gonna use my tablet to select because it's gonna be slightly more precise. Even though it's a vector layer, I can't select the lines like in Clips in Illustrator, in Adobe Illustrator. There's gonna be tree ink. And the background, I'm gonna move that door because it looks nice and I want to keep it. I'm gonna hide again the layer with Niels, and I'm gonna erase this one here. I'm just gonna copy paste some of that. In fact, I'm gonna move this a bit up. Oh my, I forgot my close these, quit. And these and a whole bunch of other stuff that's eating up my bandwidth. There we go. This one's still working, still streaming. I had some issues. I check, seems to be working. Okay. So I'm gonna open an older page just so I can get the colors from there. Okay, selected Niels, and now get the bucket tool and fill in all of the colors. It's faster with the bucket tool, so. And then I'm gonna have to go and correct some of the stuff. Because it doesn't fill in properly everything. Left side is white. Right side is white, sorry. Left side is black. So now I take my brush and I go in there. This has a bit of blending. I want the pen, there we go. Oh yeah, I forgot, I have to do the masks for the pages so the color doesn't leak out. And I have less things to worry about. So this page has to be done for Sunday, and it's going to be out on Tapastic on Sunday. For those of you that don't know what Tapastic is, it's an online publishing platform for indie comic book artists and for established artists as well. But it's generally not, there are new stories, they're not... hi Andre! They're not from a big company like Variant or Marvel or DC, so it's mostly indie and Korean. That should be panel 3, okay. The right layer. You know, with so many layers you're bound to select the wrong one, and it happens pretty often. I work on the wrong layer, then I have to redo the work. how are you? How have you been? Hi Kay, hi everyone. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? And see? Okay, I hope there's no more lag, no more issues. I'm good. Finally starting to get nice temperatures and nice weather. Been going bicycling. I got fat over the over the winter. I got fatter actually, like not fat, just even fatter for the winter here in Michigan. So I'm looking forward to losing that weight. You know, when it's so cold, it's like super difficult to remain fit and doing any activities in the winter, in the cold. It's like no fun whatsoever. I can't go catch Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon. You know, I wish they would do a Pokemon type of app for the real wildlife here, because there's so many animals. Like we have like 5 different types of squirrel, and um, we got a whole bunch of kinds of birds. It's actually the first time he's been on one of my live streams. Usually he's at work, and he's at work now, but um, I've been complaining that I'm having internet problems and with the connection, so I guess he wanted to check to see if I still have them. Hear you okay, no lags. Yeah, I'm happy. Everything's working because last night my computer wanted to do updates again, the dreaded updates, and you know, usually when Windows does an update, something's not gonna work anymore. Like it's inevitable. So I was a bit afraid, you know, like is the stream not gonna work again or something? Yep, I am. Hope everybody else is. Um, I hope there will be no more technical problems. Like, I'm gonna try and test again tonight to see if everything works late at night, so I can easily erase any test videos, because I'm gonna have to use the stream. So you might get a notification that I posted a video that I will post this night, but know that it's just for a test. He has a crack in the roof. Like, I really want to make it look super messy. Okay, I think that's enough destruction for the moment. I'll start getting the base colors in. What's the pen? There we go. Pen, pen, pen. So I have been thinking about the book club as well, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what structure we can do. Like, there doesn't seem to be a option for like a group chat in the Facebook group. Like, you can just comment and reply endlessly on a thread, which I think that can get pretty messy pretty quickly. I don't know if we should do like a podcast format, like to kind of give people a chance to show off either their books or a book that they like, or comic book. I wanted to do this, so people can promote their work, or they can just show off something that they like to the rest of us, and we might enjoy that as well. Because we're mostly artists and a couple of scientists in the group, so I think that our preferences are gonna be pretty homogeneous. So unfortunately, since we don't have a real space in real life, like we can't gather people to sit like there are usually in book clubs, to sit and kind of like take turns and show off a book. So I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna do this, but I'm still thinking and kind of looking online for ideas about how other people have done this. I really like them, and so far I've seen people do podcasts, with two or more people talking, about a subject. And they usually have very good microphones when they're talking, so that might be an issue. Like, my microphone is good enough, people can understand me pretty well. It's just that I have this hamster voice. can't really do much about it. It's really hard to change your voice. It like kind of takes a lot of years of training. And I'm a bit lazy on that part. So Anna, if you have any ideas in that regard, let me know. I'm gonna try and see what chat options we have. Nobody's answered me about the podcast. Like, is that something that you think would be a good idea? And if it's something we can do. I haven't tried to see if I can do it directly in the group. Like I saw that you have the option to save videos there or audio. I'm gonna have to ask Samantha about how she streams on Facebook. She told me that Facebook only keeps the videos for 2 weeks, which really sucks, but you know, in case we screw up, it doesn't have to be there for posterity, so I don't think anybody would want to listen to them forever, so like that's not an issue. Podcast is kind of like, you know, the radio where one or more people come and talk about something. Like they often do this for book clubs that I follow on YouTube. And for example, there's one guy that did a book club, a couple of episodes for George R.R. Martin's books, and he on each episode he took one of his books and talked about them, and that was really cool what he did. Yeah, Kay, you've been talking about doing that for over a year. I don't believe you at this point. Like, you're tricking us. You're never gonna do it. Like, I dare you to do it, and I'm sure you're not gonna. I can bet against it and make some money. Okay, let's see. Erwin's here. Well, I know you for over a year, and you've been talking about this since the beginning when you said, because I asked you, okay, what your reward on Patreon do you want to be? And you were like, oh, draw me this for my book club. And you never did anything about it. You never sent me any requests, anything, so. So much for that plan. Oops. I'm gonna color the year. Well, that's life for you. Nothing goes according to plan. Yeah, I guess. I don't know how it is for everybody, but most of my plans go accordingly, and I finish most of my projects. that I seriously set up to do. Like there are some projects like the video game where I don't have a programmer, and um, I haven't contacted any um, what is it, human resources company to find me a programmer, because I know that whatever they find me I cannot afford. So I'm kind of trying to do swaps, like, you know, I do the graphics for some programmer and they do the programming for my game, but so far I haven't found anybody uh, that seriously wanted to do that. Like, I met a lot of people online. They were like, yeah, 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 let's do it, I am serious, I am gonna do it, what I say is what I do. And all the programmers that I've met so far have been less organized than me, and I'm an artist, so I think it's saying something when a artist is more organized than a programmer. You know, people are people, and that's how it is. Like, there are these stereotypes that, oh, artists are less organized and they're messy and they don't clean their rooms and stuff like that, but I am a lot of proof to the contrary. Yeah, I was someone, but he had exams and other things to do, and they were like, yeah, 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 we'll do it, and then he disappeared, like he didn't write anything. He showed me some demos of what he had done, and then he was like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and he was just talking about what he wanted to do. He didn't actually do anything further. And you know, talking is nice, but if it doesn't lead anywhere, I'm gonna stop listening. I got stuff to do. Hi, Hisame. Oh, hi, June. Damn it, on my brain. Hi, June. um, yeah, I was still thinking about the video game that I have to do in my brain. Yeah, I don't know if it counts as a Freudian slip. This, because it's usually Freudian slips are for embarrassing moments that have to do about sex or something. Oh, Freud was a weird guy. I'll give him that. Okay, background. Then I want a tree color. So no weird discussion there, but it's still funny, like when people misspoke. Like they actually did some tests for that to see how true that is, and the results were pretty hilarious. Like a lot of Freud's assumptions were pretty funny. I guess that's why they caught on so much, and probably why he continued, because controversy and stuff like that sells a lot better than rigorous scientific study. And a lot of the things that Freud said have been disproved, and Aristotle also said a bunch of crazy stuff about women. But I guess that's why they're the most popular. Like, I think everybody knows about Aristotle and Freud. I don't know how many people know about Epicure and uh, Jung, or I'm trying to think of famous psychiatrists, and I can't really think of any. Like, Freud is so synonymous with the name. I guess Myers-Briggs are pretty popular because of their personality tests that aren't very accurate, but they're not as crazy as the muffin test on BuzzFeed, so it's a progress. Okay, let's see how I'm going to color the shack, because it's so much brown on brown. First of all, I'm gonna do a yellow for the building. Don't remember exactly what she drew up there. Oh, gotta look at the reference images. So it has to be some kind of cobblestone. So it's gonna be gray and it's gonna go up and down. So that's the crescent thing. Okay, so there's gonna be some gray there, and I'm gonna see the roof tiles between those, or at least I should. And the roof is a darker brownish reddish thing. And that margin there is white, more or less. So how's everybody been? Like, are you ready for the live stream this Saturday? And what do you think of the book club? June, I was talking to Anna about maybe making a podcast, and like people can talk either about their books or a book they like. I know Simona liked this a lot, so I was thinking of inviting her, maybe do something together. Maybe promote her page, because I really like what she's doing. The only problem is that she's posting in Italian and I can't always read or understand. Like, there are jokes there that I don't get. Because they're in Italian. Okay, so it should be kind of a line. Yeah, I was thinking she might enjoy that, and see if she would like to do something together, if she has a better idea than me. Are we going to talk in English? Yeah, it's kind of the only international language that all of us know. Like, there are not that many Spanish speakers in the group, or Chinese or something, or Indian. So, English is kind of the only thing that we can all pretty much understand. So I'm thinking of doing it in English. I don't think I would be able to keep up a discussion in Italian. Like, I can listen, but I wouldn't be able to reply properly because I don't know Italian. Like, it's very similar to my own language, but it's not the same thing. The differences are much bigger than between Canadian and Australian, per se. I guess maybe it would rival Creole and London British. I don't know. Like, I've listened to some people speaking English in former colonies that are really far away and isolated, and I just couldn't understand. Like, they were supposedly talking a variation of English, but I couldn't understand anything. And they were talking very fast as well. So yeah, English. I'm sorry. I know some of you have some problems with pronunciation and finding the words. Like, do Italians speak any other language? Like, I know a lot of things are dubbed in Italy, which I think is a really bad idea because it doesn't help people to learn different languages. Like, it doesn't matter what other language the film is. It's always good to know more than one language, in my opinion, because we live on a planet that has a lot of languages. So, heard about the ad apocalypse, the new issue about YouTube? Yeah. I even shared a video about it because I couldn't believe it. They're at it again. There's just so many issues with YouTube and Facebook. It's tough to be independent. Like, the more I see this, like, the more it seems like unions are a great idea to kind of try and balance out these things so you have negotiating power. Because at the moment, YouTube can just always say, well, if you don't like something, go somewhere else, go to my competition. I'm like, what competition is out there for YouTube anyway? Like, it's really hard for any competition to go in and take their place. Like, what business model could they have that is both sustainable and good enough that people will switch? Because people don't want to switch, like, let's face it. If people were really upset with YouTube, they would stop using it. But the matter of the fact is, the vast majority of people are not content creators, so they don't care. They go to see cat videos on YouTube, and that's it. Like, they don't watch for documentaries. They don't really care about tutorials. Like, if they can find a tutorial, good. If they can't find it, they don't care that that person put a lot of effort into making the tutorial for them. It's tough. There should be some more lines there. I'm gonna write some more. New issue, lol. Yeah, at this point, nothing is really new that much with issues on YouTube. Like, they're always having some issue of one kind or another. But, I try and follow, see what alternatives come up. Are scared, mostly talk about nowadays news, do gameplays and stuff out of the safety zone. Yeah, well, um, whenever something scary happens, like, people like to uh, make a lot of noise about it because it gets you clicks, it gets you more views and stuff like that. And that is what they want in the end. They want views, and a lot of YouTubers like drama, so they kind of start that every time they can. Yeah, things been going for a while now. Where have you been? Yeah, I mean, they keep recycling these news stories in the hopes that, they get more views, more clicks, more stuff like that. And there's always gonna be somebody that missed the news and or just finding out about it now. You know, it's a tough business, and people really, I don't know what their um, consumer behavior is that much. Like I know a lot of people that don't watch, uh, yeah, and I that don't watch any kind of movies, or they rarely watch any movies, or you know, a lot of people don't consume that much entertainment. Like you might be tempted to think that they do because you do, and you know, you talk to them about things, but I've rarely met people that read as much as me, watch as many documentaries as me, listen to as much music as me, or actively look for new things. So even when I was back home, I would go twice a month at the cinema, but most of the people around me went like once every 3 months or something like that, so that's a big difference. So how can you as a company ensure that more people are going to see your films regardless of what the films are? Well, you make a new remake of Beauty and the Beast so that, you know, parents have something to take their kids to see, because they don't really want to check and see if some cartoon from uh, whatever film company is good. So there's not much incentive for them to check and see, oh, what's good for my kid, you know, to stay informed. And I just always liked animation, and have always kind of stayed interested in see what is. Like, it definitely has changed. A lot more people are watching content like this. Like my generations and the coming generation, um, they're consuming a lot more of this content. Okay, let's see. Well, there really isn't much of a wall there. So that line shouldn't be, but there should be a sidewalk. Now I don't know if it's the price or just behavior of why people don't go to the cinema more often. but just that's just how it is. And, actually, no, it's gonna be a darker, so I'm gonna do. No, I'll leave it this beige, and for that part, I'll make it darker, so it kind of has 3D effect. And the door, make it brown. There we go. Like, I think that in a way it's also because from school, um, what do kids are introduced to first? Like, they're introduced to some pretty boring stories that aren't very entertaining, and there's not much music education in class either. Yeah, I mean, like, we all have our favorite mediums. Like, I do play a lot of video games, but I'm not as big of a video game fan as my husband. So he's with video games mostly, and I'm with movies and films and animation. Like, that's my go-to hobby and relaxation. Like, I'm willing to watch a lot more stupid or weird or new films. Like, I'm much more willing to try out new films than he is. And he's more willing to try out video games than me. Like, he tries and plays a lot more video games, and some he likes, some he doesn't like, so he stops playing a particular video game. But for me, it's a much harder sell. So I try less video games than him. And other people, they just like to read a lot of books. I personally don't like to read books or play video games that much, because then my hands are tied up and I can't do anything else. So one of the reasons I prefer movies and animations and stuff like that is because while I'm watching a film, I can do something else, like finish a painting I wanted to finish, or I can have my dinner. And for me, it's just that freedom that I like. Whilst for my husband, it's a different kind of freedom that he appreciates in video games. The fact that he is not restricted to a scenario or the gameplay. Like, there are video games that allow you to play um, in different ways, in different styles. Like, you don't have to play shooter, or you don't have to kill everybody in the video game. You can um, always choose the peaceful route in that game, and he really likes those. He doesn't like to go shoot people and kill every NPC in the game. So he appreciates games that let him play how he wants. And whilst I like video games with stories, if the story isn't very interesting and captivating and stuff like that, I'm gonna get bored and I'm not gonna play anymore. And I would rather play a farming simulator where I don't have uh, the obligation to have it really complicated intellectually. Like, I don't have that expectations from it, so I'm happier with those. But with Stardew Valley, I really like the fact that it has a story and the farming simulation aspect of it, so that's why I really like the game. It has everything I want from it, except co-op, but that's coming up soon, so. My husband, he doesn't like farming games. He thinks that it's just grinding, and like, why would I ever play a game where I have chores? But I can't do those things in real life. Like, I can't have flowers and I can't have chickens because it's where we live. So because I can't have those in real life, I play a game in which I can. Yeah, the story is very important to me. Like, there are a lot of people that say, oh, why can't you just turn your brain off and enjoy the story? And I wish I could turn my brain off. I'd probably be a happier person in general. I wouldn't be so upset with the problems of our society if I could turn my brain off and not think of the consequences of the actions of some people. Sims, I don't know. The Sims, the game. I think some of them were good. I've never played them because I'm totally disinterested in big cities and modern society. Like, I want something that is either vintage, steampunk, futuristic. There's gotta be something to it. Like, my current world is boring to me, so I need this thin veil of exotic flavor to it. I mean, it took some convincing to play Tropico. I didn't want to play it because it's pretty close to my time. Like, you're a dictator on a tropical island, and everything's a bit old there, a bit retro. It's kind of like Cuba. It's exactly like Cuba. And anything uh, from this century is boring to me. I don't have a rational explanation for why I find that boring. Like, world wars and the Cold War and spies and stuff like that bore me. A graphic mimic they gave to people. Yeah, so in the end, my husband convinced me to play Tropico just because the gameplay was really awesome, and it is true. I really did enjoy Tropico. I really enjoyed playing Tropico. And I played all of the campaigns, and it's a very nice game. I don't know if I would do a game like that myself. It's not fantasy enough. There's not enough story in it. You don't go anywhere. You're stuck on the island. So um, the mechanics in it is very good. Like, I definitely going to take inspiration from that, but I wouldn't do a game like it. But I wish more people would do games that are as thought out and well constructed as Tropico. I really did enjoy playing it. Okay. Like, I really like the gameplay of Divinity Original Sin. And how you would go around, from city to city and fight monsters and deal with the issues there, and you would have crafting and you would have a homestead that you can go to and fix the things there. And you had like this magical castle in the sky that you can live in. Of course, the game was very buggy and it had a lot of issues, and you couldn't really live there because it was bombarded by meteorites, and you had no kitchen, and it was pretty rudimentary. But I like the idea that they had. I think there are too many people in that company that can't really work together, and they kind of do things that they don't really finish or think through very well, and they keep asking for money but they don't deliver. From my point of view, like, this seems like some things aren't finished, and the stories were kind of lame. It was this whole melodrama between some wizard and another witch, and wizard was dating some witch, and the witch had a sister, and the wizard cheated on the sister with the other witch, and some crap like that. Uh, and I don't have that much patience for this type of story. Like, I wouldn't say that I've gotten to the state where I only like political thrillers. Like, I don't think I'm that old yet. But I would like some more bit of context in the world, and build it more, and not just the teenage melodrama between some people. And I also don't have much respect for, people that do this kind of stuff, so I find it tedious to have to read through romantic dramas like this. So, oh, he cheated on her, and then that's why that witch was angry, and then she tried to kill whatever. But actually, it wasn't. It was some zombie that came in, and whatever. I'm still surprised that game was a bestseller, but I guess it didn't have much competition that year. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember in which year it came out. Enki Bilal. Uh, no, I don't think so. Bilal sounds familiar, but I think it's just a common family name. Okay, so let's see. Nicopol. Let's see. Nicopol. It is a point-and-click adventure game developed by White Birds Production based on the graphic novels in Kobe Lord trilogy. Oh yeah, I think I may have heard of it, but I really dislike point-and-click games. So that's probably why it never really came up on my radar. Stop the dictator's iron fist rule! This strange weird finds his father. Strange pyramid hovers over Paris. Pum pum pum. Egyptian gods. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. Depends how the story is told. Based on the comic called The Immortal Ad Vitamin. Oh, Immortal. Okay. Okay, I'll put it on YouTube to check it out. Thanks. Oh, I think I saw the trailer. Yeah, I'm starting to remember it. I don't know what Destiny is, but I really avoid free-to-play MMOs. They're just grinding and grinding, and I don't find them appealing. You know, this is the fun part of video games. There's just so many options for everybody, and it's really hard to please everyone. You know, on one side you have video game play options, and on the other you have the genres, you know, sci-fi, fantasy, everything like that. Why does this layer moved? So it kind of gets even harder to please everyone, and efforts have been made to kind of try and find a video game that could please everyone and have multiple playing options. Like you can play from top down, and the other players can play shooters and first person view. So I think that's a nice idea. First of all, because those are pretty similar. I'll have to change the facial expression. I didn't notice. I was like looking at each individual panel, and I didn't look at the full picture. Like, one of the things I haven't really seen is a comeback from the Age of Empire type of games. I say it and I don't deny it, I hate Bioshock. I could enjoy the story and the gameplay. I hated Bioshock, I could enjoy the story in the game. So why did you hate Bioshock? I can't match Jun's mouth. I gotta go find a reference where he's smiling so I can try and do the same way she does. It's like too wobbly, the line. And his eyes. It's let's see if I can color it, do the same eyes as Jun. Will be a challenge. If it was a great game as everybody described it, is as awesome. People love the settings and the powers, but I didn't find the settings so beautiful. I think the main issue with the setting is that it was too small, maybe. Like, I had no problems with the settings. I didn't like the whole religious fanatical stuff. I really dislike it because it's like too close to home, I guess. Romania is very religious and it's annoying to me. They have to deal with religious fanatics and it's an issue here in the US, but mostly I didn't have to tackle it that much. I mean, like, I had way more people come at my door in the US and be from all kinds of funky religious cults. Seventh-day Adventists, some kind of Protestants, a bunch of Protestants, they came here. I don't know, some guys with pink t-shirts, I forgot from what religion they were. Maybe they were evangelicals. Like, there was some kind of weird cult where for 2 years you couldn't talk to your family anymore. And they were trying to convert me, and I was like, dude, I just got married. You don't want me to have sex for 2 years because I'm not allowed to see my husband? Like, what is wrong with you people? Get out. Off my lawn. Crazy people. Crazy, crazy people. And they can vote. Hope there are not too many of them. Every time I tried to enjoy the setting, a monster appeared to hit me. The ending was really simple. Yeah, I don't remember that much the game because I couldn't play it because I have motion sickness, so I can't play any first-person video games. Sadly. So, yeah, I'm not sure I can do the same eyes. Maybe it will not have the same style. So I think I'm gonna leave that face for June, and she draws another face for me because I don't like how I drew this one. I mean, the mouth is okay, but I don't think I can get the same arch line for the eyes. Maybe I'll copy paste it from somewhere else. No, I can't play Dishonored, I can't play Far Cry, and Far Cry looks so good. I can't play any of those games. It's super annoying. Yeah, I tried, but I can't get the exact line for it. So June, I'm gonna have to ask you to like draw eyes for them, but I think I can copy paste them from somewhere else, so you don't need to worry. If I'll not be able to do the face, then I'll let you know. Like I think I made his mouth too big. Like I can't put my finger on it. Why I don't like the way I drew his mouth. Like it doesn't seem the same. Maybe it's just in my head. Because that's all I need. I need him to be with the eyes open, and it's not a big deal. I just can't replicate it. I mean, probably if I tried 20 times, I might be able to do it. Like now comes to mind that little video with some artist that was trying to draw a leg, and he keeps trying and trying and trying, and then he gets super angry and makes a horrible leg. Yeah, it was like so true. He understands my pain. So yeah, sadly I cannot play a lot of games. And a lot of them, you know, most of them are first person shooters, but maybe that's just my biased impression because there are a lot of awesome games that I can't play. And so it seems to me like, oh, most games are first person shooters and they're single player, and I want some co-op, and I want I want him to be third person. Why am I cursed and not having those? Maybe I am exaggerating a bit. Simply because, you know, I'm seeing a lot of games that I would like to play and can't play, so. I would have really loved for Stardew Valley not to be a pixel art game. Like, I would have been so happy if it was. Like that painted look, like out of all of the video game styles, that painted look that is in Wakfu and in Bastion. Like, I love it. I love it so much. Like, I really try and make stuff that looks like this. Like, I'm really gonna try with Newton's house, you know, to get at least the feel, the lighting and everything with it, because I won't have time for one page every week. I won't have time to paint this all the time, but still it looks so beautiful. I want more games like this one. I want to draw more stuff like this. And I'm gonna try and do the game with Erwin like this, and start painting the all the things there, and the obstacles and stuff like that. To look like it. That panel, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that and just copy paste it when it's still in high resolution. It's for 30. Oh, I have some Niels here. He's like smiling in each page. He's super happy. He's gonna go meet Newton. But it kind of is boring for the viewer to see him with the same expression in each. I don't remember. Did I do him with a smiley face like this in all the panels? I don't remember. Because I might have given Jun the wrong indication. I can't find the pages. Page was 2024. My horrible. Yep, I did it. I put him smiling in every. No, it's okay. I just didn't pay attention when I sent you the pages. Like, I wasn't thinking very much about it. I did it in a rush. It was a pretty hectic week for me with the plumbing and everything. They had to excavate in front of my house. But like, I want to sit down and do the other pages for chapter 2 and kind of go over them and revise and tweak and everything to make sure they're the best version that I can make. So I don't know if I'll go on a hiatus for chapter 2. No, it's okay. It's just that he was like, no, absolutely every panel he was like the same expression, but I'll fix it. I want to sit down one of these days. Unfortunately, I have the Quick Draw collab this Sunday, and then Saturday I have sorry, I have an event I have to attend. So I don't know where I'm gonna sit down and do all of at least the first 10 pages, do the sketches, make sure everything's okay, and do the sketches as detailed as I can. Yeah. Like I would have liked to have like a wider shot here to kind of establish where everything is. But there wasn't room for that in the story, and maybe squeeze it later on. I don't know. Because usually you have to do kind of an establishing shot when you change the location, so that people always know where you are, and oops, wrong side. So people always know where you are in the space that you occupy. Like maybe I could have given up the whole Scooby Snack stuff or added an extra page. But I figured, it's a well-known location, like people are gonna know where Newton's house is. They can always Google it. I don't know if I need to write that it is Cambridge. Maybe readers that aren't from Europe don't know what it's about. So they might need some more context, and I can put some squares and say that this is Cambridge. We were in Cambridge before. We're in different time zones of Cambridge, but we're still in the same place. I hope that all of this information comes across to people. Like the flea panel, it was too small, people couldn't read. And I had some questions like, what happened with the rat? I don't understand what's going on there. So that's an issue on my part. I need to fix it somehow. Either I give up on that joke, or I find a way to make it clearer. you go. But I was thinking of putting it in a envelope. Now I remember. Should have written in the pages. Okay, so I'm gonna go on his layer, Erwin. I'm gonna turn off these in the background so they don't confuse me. Okay. Corrected that. Yeah, so I wanna sit down and do much more detailed sketches for you, June. I'm sure it will save you a lot of time with the guesswork of what I wanted to do there, and I wouldn't need to write so many notes like it's an envelope, and it's a paper inside an envelope, and what each thing is. But I've kind of done these very rushed, so this Friday I have to finish this page. But probably next weekend I'll be able to sit down and do all the other pages and do them properly. Or at least maybe during the time and on Monday, or see if I can catch a day where I don't get any interference and I can focus on what I need to do. I think this was the color of the boots. You're using Affinity Designer, it's not bad. I'm really glad. So I haven't tried it. You're using the demo, right? Still a lot of things missing, but it's okay. So what would the main issue be? Like, what's missing? like the tool to vectorize the images. Well, that's not a big tragedy, but it was a time saver. Like if I needed to have a symbol and I wanted to save some time not to draw the symbol, or maybe I would be afraid that I wouldn't be able to do the exact same way, like for example a logo, then I would use vectorized to get it, because sometimes people would send me a JPEG and they wanted, oh, have the logo inside this vector image that is scalable to whatever image size, and I would have to make their logo from JPEG to from raster to vector. And instead of going back and forth between emails and explaining to them the difference between vector and bitmap and all that stuff, I would just take their logo, vectorize it, and be like, yay, here you go, and the rest of the poster you wanted. Like, if you want to get educated, pay someone to do it. Humphrey is experiencing how the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. But this stuff actually happened in the movie with um, the 1957 movie from Disney, and I don't remember exactly in the book how it happened. I don't remember it. I have to maybe go back and read. Maybe there was a situation like this when he gets um, into trouble with the natives. But I really like how they did it in Pirates of the Caribbean, so it was great comedic effect. And I always like doing like little nods to this, like if it's a movie that I liked or something that I liked, I like to include it. So that's why I did the pajamas with Batman and Superman for Niels and Irwin. So I think it's definitely interesting to think about um, the whole movie industry. Like Disney owns Pirates of the Caribbean, owns Marvel. What else do they own? They kind of own everything, to be honest. I'm gonna put the leaves on a different layer. Maybe a darker green. This one's too peachy. Like the tree is missing. I'm gonna have to put a tree in the background, just so it's clear where those leaves are coming from. And that aqua blue water. Yeah, because now it looks like, you know, there's some trees that are floating there mysteriously. I mean, people can make the connections. They're not stupid, but it still is a bit weird to see it like that. I made the foreground leaves and forgot to draw the palm tree in the back. Can you send me the PNG? Just put it in the file in on the drive. And that line there shouldn't be straight, so I'm gonna go with my trusty but where are my Bezier curves? Yes, punch. Pinch, pinch. Well, I want a redraw vector line. Okay, fine. Redraw vector line. That was too much. What it did there. Yeah, I'm just gonna... It's easier. Okay, and the coloring for this. It's almost 5, so I'm gonna have to close the stream soon. If there was anything else you guys want to talk to me about, let me know. If you want to do any tests about the stream to see that everything's working properly, send me a message, or you can test it on your own, whichever suits you. And hopefully all of us will not have internet connection problems Saturday. And I'm gonna have sky, and it's gonna be, I don't know, something blue. Okay, so that was pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching. And I will continue this on next week. No, I'm finishing this page on by myself, and I'm gonna do a new page next week, or I will continue with the Color Me collab. depending on how soon June finishes the line art for page 25. I've sent her the sketch, so it's in the works. Thank you all for watching, and see you next week. No, I see you Saturday, sorry. Can't brain today, so see you uh, this Saturday in 2 days. My brain not working.